Day 2 at the SCG, and it's been interrupted by the rain, which of course never happens in Sydney. Pretty slow going, really. Australia trying to manoeuvre themselves into position in the first innings to match or go past Pakistan's total. Joined by Danyal Rasool to look back on the action. Danyal, where do you see this game placed, and do we need to talk about Pakistan's slip cordon again?
Well, I'd rather talk about that than the Sydney weather, so let's go. The first thing, again, is we keep talking about how unsettled it is. We don't really know who's at first slip, who's at second. There was a bit of misfortune, a bit of tragic comedy around Salman Ali Agha going off for the call of nature, and then Babar Azam moving to second slip because he thought that's where the catches would come. But then that meant they pushed Saim Ayub, the debutant, into first slip, and of course, as luck would have it, that's where David Warner nicks off, and Saim Ayub drops another dolly. It's familiar territory for Pakistan. They've dropped Warner at least 6 or 7 times through his career, and most of the time he makes them pay.
Well, the most interesting part of the day was what ended up being the eventual dismissal of David Warner. He was caught at slip this time by Babar Azam, a delivery that turned and bounced from Salman Agha, who's really impressed as an off-spinner in this series. Warner had got himself set. The crowd here in Sydney was in anticipation of a big send-off innings in his final test match, but it was a ripping delivery. Usman Khawaja after play said it's one of those you can't do anything about. The interesting point is looking ahead a bit further into this match, how it may move over the next 3 days. Been a lot of talk about this pitch leading into the game. The talk from both camps is they do expect it to turn a bit more as the game goes on. So that brings Nathan Lyon into the game. Of course, it brings Pakistan into the game with Salman and Sajid Khan in the side. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays over the next few days. Australia will be looking towards their middle order. Stephen Smith just getting started. Marnus Labuschagne has got a start. They'll be looking to build on that tomorrow, and they're very aggressive players to come later in the middle order. Danielle, I guess the last few days of this test series will be a bit of a test of belief for Pakistan. Do you think they have it in them to push harder over the next few days and make something from this game?
I think one thing we've seen is Pakistan have been a lot grittier this time around than they often are in Australia. If you remember, after the first session, it looked like they were already done and dusted on the plane over to New Zealand, 40 for 4, and then they put 3-1-3 together. A lot of people thought the SCG pitch would be quite flat, and that would have meant Australia could have pulled away really comfortably, fairly easily. But what's happened instead is Pakistan got that wicket of Warner that you mentioned, and then they're not on autopilot. They're still thinking deeply about how to get other wickets. They pushed the field out, they adopted a short ball strategy, and then Usman Khawaja, who probably looked the best out of all of the 3 Australian batters that took the field today, he nicks off trying to pull to Mohammad Rizwan, and that means 116 for 2. Australia still trailed by 197 runs. Pakistan potentially, if Salman Ali Agha can bowl well and the pitch continues to take turn, could have thoughts and some degree of optimism about taking a small lead. And if they do that, with 2 innings to go, you never really know. There's maybe something in the series for Pakistan yet.
Well, despite the rain today, still plenty of time in this game to get a positive result, and we'll be back with all the latest action after day 3 tomorrow.